we are going to get into our meta and unlocks right now. I'll go ahead and start. So currently at a collector level of 24,009 as of today, March 3rd, 2026. And I have 1,900 tokens, just 100 shy of getting me a, right, it's 2,000, right? That'll get you a 4. Is that what it was?
Yeah, regular Series 4.
Yeah, just about 100. But I'm right on the verge of getting an additional 3. So it should be...
And then you're 100 away from a seasonal Series 5.
I might just be getting a card tonight.
Who, alas, does no longer includes Fin Fang Foom.
So we open things up here with my unlocks. I got a Chibi Omega Sentinel.
Yay. Better you than me.
I then got Hip Monkey. I got a Dan Hip Colossus, a Pixel Invisible Woman, a Blueprint War Machine. I got a Peach Momoko Horror Daredevil, a Nicholas Scratch, a Sasquatch, a Scan Toxin, Jennifer Kale, a Nicola C. Silver Sable, a Dan Hip Black Swan, a Horseman of Salvation Omega Red, Human Torch First Steps.
Do we ever talk about, I think those Horsemen of Salvation were your boy X-Man.
He put together like a band.
They were his horsemen, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh,
so it's
crazy.
like him and Omega Red and Blob. I don't remember who else was in there. But
I didn't know that.
Sorry about that. Human Torch First Steps.
Human Torch First Steps. King Eitri. Then we got Dale Keown Cable. I think you pointed that out, and I was like, oh, what? I can't pass that up. I got a Man Spider.
There you go.
Dan Hip Aranya. Max Grecki Blue Marvel. I got a Red Shift. That sounds like it's
Herald of Agatha.
It almost sounds like it's a variant of Shift. I got a Red Shift. I got a Walk in the Park Devil Dino, and I got a Disco variant of Magic. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 new cards this season for me. So, but again, I was really going through the Series 4 stuff. A lot of that is, you could tell, the Man Spider was definitely a Series 5, I'm pretty sure. Mm-hmm. But yeah, the rest of that I think is Series 4. Hit Monkey's been out forever.
Yeah.
And I wanted to put him in my Black Swan deck.
Oh, yes.
And I was focusing on other things, other decks this season, and I haven't had a chance really to unleash him yet. But anyway, so there you go. That's my unlocks for the season. Evan, what do you got on your end there?
I got a few more, and I think it's because I did play in those events. You can load up on some variants in those, and a couple times I did that too soon, but I did get one variant I was very thrilled to get in one of those events. But yeah, I started off with Star-Lord, Master of the Sun.
Okay.
Then I got what's labeled a Captain Carter What If variant, but really every Captain Carter card is a What If, and this one's a chibi.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I think it's even in a chibi album. Not a new card, but I ink split a Dan Hip Dazzler. So
okay, nice.
Always appreciate the ink splits still.
Yeah.
Got a 1602 Angela, a He Tian Yu Cassandra Nova. I also got a Blueprints War Machine.
Yeah.
Whenever I think of the Blueprints ones, I know you like them. I think they're cool. I'm not as big a fan as you are, but it reminds me of my childhood where we had the movie theater at the mall, but we also had the Blueprints theater. And it eventually was like a second run theater, so you could watch fairly recent movies for really cheap. Mm-hmm. It was called the Blueprints Theater because it was on Blueprints Road. I grew up in the town of Bluefield, which was 10 miles from the county seat of Princeton. And I was 17 years old when I was like, wait a minute, do they call all that stuff Blueprints because it's between Bluefield and Princeton? And my grandfather, who's the kindest man I've ever known and would never say anything mean to anybody, just looked at me like, You've lived here all your life. You just now figured that out. Like he didn't know what to say. Like he didn't want to be mean because my grandfather didn't have a mean bone in his body, but he didn't know how to react to that.
Well, you got a lot of dual stuff going on down there. You got Bluefield, which is half West Virginia. You got a Bluefield, West Virginia. You got a Bluefield, Virginia. So yeah, it can be confusing sometimes down there.
No, Jesse, I'm just not very observant.
All right.
It was years, like I came out of Starship Troopers and I'm like, those people were kind of jerks. In fact, they almost acted like Nazis.
Next.
Peach Momoko Nightmare Venom. Then I got Shao Lao the Undying and Magus as a bonus.
Okay.
Got a Food Fight Jeff,
Nice.
an Invar Studio Frigga, a Vincenzo Riccardi Gamora, which came with the season pass. Got a Pixel Iron Man, a Victor Faro Gore, because I think I was trying to add to that Nero Faro, wherever you are, album. Yeah, because I think I can get some tokens if I get a few more in there. Then I got Major Victory and AOL Drax.
Nice.
A pause so you can drop the sound effect.
I knew it.
Got a Jim Chung Scream, who he's done a lot of stuff for Marvel, but I most associate him with Young Avengers.
Okay.
Got a Jim Lee Warpath.
Nice.
Steampunk Dr. Octopus, which is kind of weird, and I didn't think I'd ever use another Doc Ock variant after I got the Superior Octopus, and then they gave me Doc Ock in a suit. Other Doc Ock variants, you're just going to sit there. Yeah. I got a Pixel Crystal.
Okay.
Vincenzo Riccardi Rocket Raccoon. Got a Tony Moy Kazar. I think that was one of the featured variants in Grand Arena.
Okay.
Got your girl Black Swan.
Nice.
And did put her in a deck with Thanos and Hitmonkey.
Ooh, I never even thought about Thanos.
I assume that's why her power is there, because she was
Yeah, we've made this connection before, and I don't know.
in the Black Order at some point.
Right.
So. Let's see. Then I got the other two featured variants in that event because it took me till the third try to get the one I wanted. So I got an Eric Canetti, however you say it, Angela, and a Hi Jeff Cosmo, which is Cosmo and Jeff sharing a doggy bed.
Oh, that's awesome.
There you go. Got a Francesco Mana Carnage, Chibi Valkyrie, the smartest variant of Moon Girl.
Okay.
She's like doing science. A Dan Hip Ronan the Accuser, a Dan Hip Darkhawk, the Riccardi Star-Lord Master of the Sun variant, which interrupted my streak that resumed with a Dan Hip Super Skrull.
Okay.
Then I got Kraglin and Starhawk, as we spoke about, and Erica D'Urso Kyra, which looks pretty cool. Jessica Fong Polaris, which I used with some of my points or scrolls or whatever they call it in Sanctum Sanctorum, taught me not to buy the variant unless you're sure, because I almost missed out. Well, I got a Dan Hip Makari, but then with using those points, I almost missed out on the Bronze Age Kitty Pryde variant, which is the cover to Uncanny X-Men number 153.
Oh, man.
So I grinded until I got enough to get that one.
I love the covers, and I've seen that variant, and it's awesome.
Got a Creative House Pocket Wave. Got the Canetti Starhawk variant. Got an Invar Studio Elsa Bloodstone from somewhere. And then, probably should have mentioned this to you, but I forgot to. They had a promo code for a Lunar New Year Jubilee variant.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was trying to look up, I think it was on Marvel Snap Zone when I was looking up stuff for this, for the new cards, and they had a couple promo codes on there. One worked and one didn't. But so it's not the most dramatic variant, but it is a free variant. So.
Yeah, can't complain.
Sorry about that.
That's all right.
So I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I also had 8 new cards.
Well, yeah, that's pretty eventful there when it comes to the unlocks. Let's go ahead and get into our meta discussion here. Yeah, I'm not going to grill the Star-Lord meta. We did a lot of that already. I don't know what else you want to add to that, but it just seems like it took a lot of people. Well, a lot of people used it, and a lot of people were getting tired of using it. So it is what it is. I did finally reach Infinite for, like, I think the third or fourth time here ever since I've been playing the game. The deck that I used, I think I might have mentioned it on here before, is my Bastion Bro deck, or my Bro Bastion. I really kind of like Bro Bastion a little bit better, but
what about Brostion?
Brostion, I don't know about that.
It doesn't really work.
No. So yeah, Bastion, essentially there to copy and make 3-power Cerebros and possibly even 3-power Mystiques. The deck came through a lot of times. The premise of the deck is obviously to get 3-cost cards out there. You don't want locations to mess with your power, so you might want to get Luke Cage. You've got Magic in your deck to take care of some of those locations, along with Scarlet Witch, who's got 3 power to take care of some of those locations if need be. Luke Cage is going to save my butt so much from Marrow messing me up. As a matter of fact, sometimes I'd hold on to Luke Cage till the very final turn. And then after they hit me with a Marrow or whatever, and then I'd drop him out there. But if you got Sentinels, and then the other thing I had in there was Quinjet. So Quinjet, this is the whole point of the combo. If you can get Quinjet out there early, turn 1, when Bastion makes the copy, he makes them 2 cost, 3 power. Quinjet gets them down to 1 cost. And you got Sentinels. If you can lay out a Sentinel at some point, you're getting 1-cost Sentinels in your hand as well. So each time you're laying out a Sentinel, you're bringing them back. They're 1 cost. So the goal is at the end to have turn 7 with Valkyrie in your hand, and another. You could have potentially another Cerebro with 3 power already, which is going to get boosted immediately because it auto boosts itself because it's 3 power, along with maybe a 3 power Mystique. And so I've watched my lane totals get up to 60 sometimes.
Oh, wow.
It was a pretty impressive deck. I remember messing with it, and I was just like, man, I cannot seem to get this thing to work. I kept kind of going back to it and back to it. And then all of a sudden I started realizing, man, I'm doing pretty decent. I stretched out like 96 to 100 over 3 days because I didn't want to go on a stretch where I was going to start to lose. And I was like, oh, I'm pushing things here. I don't want to, because if I was going to go on a losing streak, I was going to get so mad. I'm glad I remembered this because I was about to send you a picture of it. The visual bugs that we have been encountering this season, there was a point where I was 4 away from hitting infinite. And the freaking game crashes. I don't know how often it happens to you, but it happens to me a lot. Like, especially if I'm playing a game and then let's say I want to use some credits and upgrade a card or whatever, and then I go back to go try and play a game. As soon as I start a game, within 2 turns, the game crashes. It's very frequent, and it might be because my phone's an iPhone 11 too. It's an older, it's not exactly new, but I'm running into these problems consistently, and it's so aggravating. Well, at one point I'm like 4 away, and of course it's the last turn in this game. Dude lays something, no, wait a second. If we get to the last turn, and I'm about ready to lay something out, and then the game crashes. And I'm like, oh, geez. I said, I've got a plan here. I could win this game. I hadn't snapped. I didn't snap or anything like that. So I finally get back into the game, and when I get back in, your opponent's retreated. It didn't say escape or anything like that. It said your opponent's retreated. I'm like, yes. So I come back out. I'm like, another 2 tokens. But no, what ends up happening is it comes out and it says I'm only 2 away from infinite, gives me the 2 and gives me infinite. And I was like, oh, I had the little gold thing down there. It said level 100. And I was like, sweet. I come back out of there. I'm like, wait, I'm not at infinite. What is going on? I knew I wasn't legitimately there, but I was really hoping that the visual bug just by chance was a glitch at that time, and it got me to infinite when I wasn't expecting it. But yeah, the visual bugs are like a thing definitely right now, where for some reason, this happened to me this morning. I collected some credits. It said I had 400, and I went in there to try and spend them, and all of a sudden it's like, you don't have 400 credits. I'm looking up there. It says 400, but down here,
yeah, I've had that a couple times. Yeah.
I can't spend the 400. It says I can't even spend 300 or something. So that's something that they're going to be working on. As a matter of fact, one of the Reddit things that I saw was, and you may have seen this, but there's a concept card. If it isn't out yet, it's a planned card. It's for Bug.
Okay.
And they said it's the second dinner mascot. And they showed a picture of the card.
There is a comic book precedent for Bastion, bro.
Oh, well, okay. It starts to make sense. He's obviously an X-Men villain. He's also tech heavy. So I do not know what it is, though. I'm sure.
Do you remember circa 1998? in the wake of Operation Zero Tolerance, we were introduced to the next big thing, the all-new, all-deadly X-Men.
Oh, my goodness.
Do you remember them?
No, tell me.
Let's see. It was the Gray King, Landslide, Rapture, Mercury, Crux, and Chaos.
None of that sounds familiar.
And they were celebrating the X-Men's some kind of anniversary.
I assume it's the
35th anniversary of the X-Men's debut.
Okay.
So this was in Uncanny X-Men number 360 and X-Men number 80. It was a two-parter, and the all-new, all-deadly X-Men, they all looked like mashups of various X characters. I was playing the Overpower card game at the time, and they were all included. And I'm pretty sure they never appeared anywhere but those two issues.
That's
because they were assembled by Professor X that turned out to be Cerebro gone rogue. And why did Cerebro go rogue? Because Bastion had interfaced with it during Operation Zero Tolerance.
Look out.
The only reason I remember that many specific details is because a couple years ago, I did a blog post on that suggesting that the all-new, all-deadly X-Men were actually a secret connection setting up something big for the Krakoan era, which no evidence.
No evidence.
But in my headcanon, yes. The all-new, all-deadly X-Men lead a direct line to the machinations of Mr. Sinister in the Krakoa era.
Oh.
So you can check that out at asterisk51.blogspot.com. All new, all deadly proof of concept. But my point is, there is comic book precedent for your newly minted infinite deck.
I like that.
Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you when you were about to tell the mystery borders to get off your lawn. So go ahead.
Mystery borders. The death of alliances here, folks. If you've been playing the game, when they introduced alliances, it was a neat concept. We like this idea. Let's get our friends playing. We know people that play Marvel Snap. We have a few people in our alliance that, I know you don't. But they are acquaintances in some way, like Matthew Price and his daughter, I think, are part of our alliance. Mm-hmm. You've got people from work, I believe, that have joined the alliance.
Yeah.
And I saw a guy post on Reddit that he watched his alliance. He had a massive alliance. There's no motivation now because I at first what I thought they were going to do was I thought that the reward will be, oh my goodness, rotated. That's the word. We'll go mystery border, and because I think they were doing that at first. They were going to go mystery border, and then they were going to go variant because at first I think it was variants were what you were shooting for initially, and then they started introducing mystery borders. Great. Mystery borders are not on the caliber, on the level of a variant, but they have not had variants for at least a few months now as a reward for an alliance. So people are just checking out, and alliances are kind of like just falling apart. It's got to be something a little bit more enticing, in my opinion. Maybe they'll do something, I'm sure, I hope, because this is really one of those, aside from friendly play, I think this is one of those other aspects of the game where you can get somebody else you actually know involved in the game and do something with them.
Yeah.
Do you have anything you want to add to that?
Not a whole lot. Yeah, mystery borders aren't nearly as exciting or enticing as variants. I have noticed that. It hasn't bothered me much, although this last week I didn't make hardly any headway on alliances, and I think that was because I was out of bounties that aligned with what I was using. I was playing a lot of Sanctum Sanctorum, and I didn't even notice. And I was still like one of the top point getters. So yeah, it wasn't... Yeah, I was a little disappointed that we're not getting the variants like we were. But other than that, I hadn't really noticed a difference. And then I saw, I'm like, man, I hardly did any bounties this time. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, it wasn't really a conscious choice. It was just the way things kind of went. Let's see. Yeah, I talked a little already about how Star-Lord helped me a great deal and then kind of moved on from it. What I will say is, I know you said you were spending a lot of gold on variants. Jesse, you should have been spending gold on premium passes.
Oh, really?
Not the season premium pass, the event premium pass, because that like doubles your rewards. And I don't think it's been the case in every event, but in both of these, you drop 800 gold for a premium pass. You got the new card without playing a game.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Yeah. I had enough gold that helped. I had the season pass, so I could get an extra 500, and I got to 90 and infinite quickly. There was another 500. But now my rule of thumb is try to keep enough so that when an event comes around, although every once in a while it's 1,000 instead of 800 gold for a premium pass. But I get that. And in this case, yeah, I had Starhawk and Major Victory before I ever played a single match.
Oh, wow.
So that's a little tip from me to you and maybe the other 3 listeners that didn't figure it out before I did. But yeah, I usually like Grand Arena, but I just did not feel like making a Grand Arena deck this time. And so I was just using the ready-made ones, and I wasn't really gaining any traction. And for some reason, I just didn't feel like making one. Mm-hmm. I like making new decks, but I don't know why. The Grand Arena one just didn't grab me this time. I was having a lot of fun with Sanctum. I used the same deck I did the last time we had Sanctum, but like I said, I added Major Victory to it, and I took out the Guardians. I took a screenshot of that to go through, but like I said, it wasn't too much changed from the last time, but I had a lot of move in it. For some reason, it started out as an experiment when I first got the card, but it worked again this time. The Lin Lee Iron Fist.
Oh, yeah.
Use him a lot, and use Madam Web, Spider Gwen, or Web Sling to get him over to the sword or to get the sword to him. Mm. Then I used the old standbys. Once I took Drax and Gamora out and put Major Victory in, I put Stegron and Vision to Sanctum mainstays in there. Dagger is in there. Starhawk I used to boost it. And then Leader if you leave a space open and you're winning or close in that one, then you use the Leader on that usually last turn and get the last few points you need to win.
Smart.
So yeah, using a lot of move that, and yeah, I was having fun with it.
That's good.
So sometimes I'm not always into Sanctum, but I was liking it this time. So yeah, even before, because I think this is the first time you've been able to get the card just by getting the premium pass. But even before that, I decided to do that because you get more tokens, get more borders, and more of the points or whatever the currency is for the events. And that helps you get more variants. So it takes a little less time to build up to those variants in the shop where you get 2,000 tokens.
Yeah.
There have been times where I'm like, ooh, that variant's cool, or that's in an album I need. And then I get around and I'm like, oh, I can't get the premium pass. So yeah, my new rule is to try to, before I go buy any variants, make sure I've got at least 1,500 so that when I buy a variant, I've got 800 for the premium pass.
Smart. Very smart.
And if you're not feeling it, you can still get that card.
That's good. Good deal. All right, anything else?
Oh, yeah, I guess I had one more note on there. Fin Fang Foom, they nerfed him from a 12 to a 10, but just like Star-Lord, that's not going to make me want to get him less. I almost opened the Season Series 5 pack last night to try to get him, and then I'm like, no, I'll wait because there's a card coming up next season that I want. And then I looked at it, and I'm like, oh, no, Fin Fang Foom's not in there. So I went to the regular Series 5, which there's little chance I was going to get him, but I did get Moonstone, so not a total loss there.
Yeah, not bad.
But, yeah. So we'll talk about which card I want when we get into our Origins of Apocalypse preview.
Thanks a lot for joining us. Make sure to tune in tomorrow for the next installment of Snap Material.